Man, this is one of the most pure, one of the most heartfelt singer-songwriters with us in the building. Pan the camera over to Tom Odell, please, and give him a round of applause, y'all, if you don't mind. Welcome back here to New York City, bro.
It's great to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
It's been way too long. Let me tell you that.
It has been way too long.
Can we change that?
Yeah, I know. I need to come here more. I love New York.
Yeah.
It's just a joy to be here.
Does this city breed creativity for you?
You know, I wrote quite a lot of my second album here in 2014. I rented an apartment in the Lower East Side.
Okay.
For like, I don't know, a couple of months, and we start a grand piano in the elevator up to this up to this like first floor apartment, and it was I wrote a bunch of songs there. But yeah, no, it's definitely, you know, there's a buzz here.
Yeah.
On Sunday, because I was jet lagged, I got up really early, I don't know, like 5:30 or something, and I went for a run along the Hudson at like 6:30, and it was just like ran through. I'm staying in Soho, and Soho's empty, and there was a few like morning joggers out, and then running up the Hudson. It's just like there's no cars, barely any cars along that main road, and
just the way that you explained that morning jog in New York City.
It's heaven.
Yo, my gosh.
That's the time. That's the time to if you can get yourself out of bed.
How you were able to masterfully, you know, weave words just in a conversation, you know, just shows how passionate these words are as you create songs, man. So being able to have so many different influences and to take different parts of your life, and then I want to say this, you just feel brave enough to make those into songs that we can connect to as fans. Like, how is that from your vantage point to create stuff that really sits on your heart?
I think the thing for me is that when I was young, when I look back now, I realized that probably like a lot of kids, I wasn't the best at communicating, and maybe wasn't even that good at feeling things with any clarity. But when I sat at the piano and I felt my, you know, legs underneath the soundboard up against the music board, and you feel the vibration coming through, everything seemed to make sense, and there was a kind of emotional clarity, and I could feel things. And as time's gone on and I've done this job more, I've realized that I want my music to be an invitation for others to feel. Yeah. To not be afraid to feel anything, to feel sadness, to feel joy.
Anxiety at times, pain, fear.
All. And I think, you know, more and more I feel like my duty is that. And I want people to come to the shows and to, you know, we live in a culture of like, with, you know, which kind of invites us to feel numb, you know, and to feel nothing at all. And for me, the piano and music is just like cathartic. It's like just to feel stuff.
Can I don't know if you are, but is there something between us, man? Because this is just beautiful, dude. I tell you. My gosh, man. But, you know, I had a conversation not too long ago with one of the best songwriters on the planet, Toby Gad.
Oh, wow.
Sat in the same spot, and it was about feeling and how important it is to feel. But also, how scary is it to address those feelings of yours, of your own, you know, knowing that the rest of the world is going to have their ears and eyes on it, you know, and maybe that's a bit of an anxious place to be in, where it's like, man, I'm going to be out there for everyone.
I don't think about it, and then sometimes I literally don't think about it.
And then an idiot like me brings it up in an interview conversation, and not
that at all. It's funny, like I don't have any like censor when I write songs. I'm just like, I just want to find the thing that makes me feel something. Yeah. Sometimes uncomfortable, but like I don't have anything that's like, I don't want to put that in. And then there's like, you know, there's been a few songs over the years where, you know, I'll go home like every few months. I see my parents, and they often want to hear like new songs. And like, have you got any new songs? And like in recent years, I don't play them so much, but sometimes I do. And you know, like I've got some like pretty risky songs where Like, you know, there's like a line in there that's a bit like,
Like, yeah.
and you're like, it's only after I've hit play and I'm like coming up to the chorus and I'm like, oh Jesus,
Yeah.
this is gonna get really uncomfortable.
It's like I don't know if you've seen the movie just yet. It's like Haley Steinfeld watching her role in Sinners. You know what I'm saying? Where
Yeah.
she's having a scene with Michael B. Jordan next to Dad. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, yo, really?
I don't understand how actors and actresses like do the thing where they're like happily married and then they go to the premiere with their partner and then they're just like having
Yeah.
like
Let me some popcorn and let me watch. Yeah, here
like,
you are.
very intimate moments with other people on screen, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, what must that be like? I don't
couldn't
think I could do it.
Yeah.
I don't. My wife wouldn't let me do it for one, and secondly, like it would kill me.
Yeah.
It'd be so awkward.
I don't have that emotion in my heart either. Like here we are. We were chatting before we started to press play here. I desperately do you know a guy who can get me a ticket to see you in Barcelona with Billy? Do you know somebody that can?
I know a guy.
Yeah, I want to be there, but I need to talk to my girlfriend and ask her if I can go. She's gonna be off on a trip. I'm like, it's scary. It's a very, gosh, but I think I'm gonna make it happen for you, Tom. Gonna make it happen, dude.
Yeah.
Let's address this really amazing and massive record that the world just continues to champion and be behind. And Another Love. I mean, I wrote it in bold letters here. Several remixes. But I mean, what does it feel like for you to watch, a song that you created just continue to, just reverberate across the globe?
Yeah, it's a curious feeling, and I would say it makes me feel very connected to the world in a really wonderful way.
Yeah.
And as I get older, even more so, because it's like, I occasionally have experiences where, I'll be on a plane or something and somebody will say that they played it at like their mum's funeral or something, or they play it at their wedding, and you have these moments of real connection with total strangers, and it's much like at gigs. It's just lovely. It's all positive.
Yeah, that's good to good to hear, because it is connection. I think that's going to be the through line of this conversation. We're talking about feeling in connection, and it was a couple of days ago when I watched the video for the latest single, Don't Let Me Go, and I'm thinking to myself like, wow, I'm feeling just a sense of I'm zoned in, while all this insanity is happening to me on a New York subway, and I'm just like, I'm here. Gosh, man, for you, do you? Gosh, do you get that same type of feeling when you first hear a record, that is going to be in the world forever, that you're here, that's a bookmark in this page of your life at this point in time? You can recall back to that moment where you're like, I'm here, I'm in line with this song at this time when I'm creating it.
I have an interesting story about that Don't Let Me Go song, is that I wrote the song and I was really thrilled with it, and I was excited to record it, and we recorded it and then kind of moved on. We recorded it like 3 or 4 times live, moved on, and then did a whole different version another day, and then we ended up running with that other version right the way through to the mixing process. And then someone that like helps with my social media, her name's Gina, came into the studio, and she was showing me some footage of the recording process, and I looked at this footage and I heard the old version of the song, and my heart like sank, because I was like, oh my god, it's better.
Whoa.
And so we ended up finding all these old stems, and we literally did it by finding this footage which had the video, which had a time and a date, and then we had to go back through Pro Tools session, find the time and the date, and then we found the take.
What?
And then that was like the version that we then ended up putting out, and it was right at the last bit of the recording process, and it is one of those weird things where at the time I was kind of annoyed about it, because I was like, it worries me, because I'm like, what else slips through the net?
Yeah.
It's like, because I take it so seriously, like the recording and the writing, and it's so important to me. It's like my whole, it's my dharma. It's my, like, it's the thing I do in life that it feels like my why I'm here. You know, it's to
Gosh.
do it, and I worry that like. You know what else? What else?
What else? So yeah, what else? So like for instance, like I'm grateful because like a couple of days ago I dropped my phone in the toilet. Still
Yeah.
works though. You know, but
Wow.
imagine if there was something like that would have happened that you wouldn't have been able to recapture that moment in time. But you guys MacGyvered. You guys wasn't the Doctor Who to be able to go back in time to figure out the metadata of a phone to you know. But that was the moment that you were in there, and
I'm very lucky to have Laurie, who I work with, who I've made the last 4 records with. He's so patient with me because I've done this a bunch of times where I get quite obsessive and then like actually it's not better. And we end up chasing.
You're chasing something.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's just you've got to. I apologize to cut you off, but sometimes you just have to let it be what it is there.
Yeah.
You know, and trust that was the energy that it was supposed to take on at that moment.
Exactly. But it's hard.
Yes.
It's hard because you want it to be brilliant.
Man.
And it's tricky.
Let's circle back to some of these tour dates, these select tour dates with Billie freaking Eilish, and one that I begged for tickets to see you in Barcelona on. That I have to still ask my girlfriend if I can go, but I'm probably gonna be there because the paella is banging. But how did that phone call come through for you, or how did that collaboration come through to where it just felt right that it was meant to be for you to be there to support, and she was there to acknowledge your musical brilliance to be a part of this show?
I'm so touched to be asked by her, and there was really not a lot of consideration that was required on my behalf. Like, Sam, you called me, and it was just like a yes, wasn't it? Pretty much.
It had to be.
Yeah. It's no, I'm incredibly touched. I'm such a huge Billie fan.
Yeah.
Like, I have been since I first heard in 2017. I remember where I was. I'd just moved house, and I was in the loft, and I was like writing some songs up there, and I heard Ocean Eyes, and it was on YouTube, and it only had like 1 million views.
Come on, early adopter, you.
Yeah.
Look at this guy, man. Yes.
And I remember sending it was when I was on Twitter, and I sent her. I did a tweet. I said, "This song is amazing." I tagged her, and she got straight back to me, and she was like, "Oh, thank you so much." And ever since then, I watched. I guess from that, like we all did.
Yeah.
I watched her career just go from, and then she did all those songs like "You Should See Me in a Crown."
Yep.
And
Lovely with Khalid is one of my favorites.
Lovely with Khalid.
Gosh, man, just
that was one of her first big hits,
was,
wasn't it?
yes, man. Yeah.
And yeah, just kind of an extraordinarily authentic artist who, just to be in proximity to her each night, to be in, it is inspiring. It's like so inspiring. And I think that, have you seen her show?
It's spectacular.
The new the Hit Me Hard, Hit Me Soft, and
yes.
Soft, yeah. It's
I was lucky enough to see it at the Garden, and it was just
perfect place to see it.
Oh gosh,
and doesn't it feel so intimate?
100. I mean, the fact that you are able, or she was able to get the entire Madison Square Garden so silent for that moment to a pin. You could hear a pin drop.
It's crazy, isn't
but
it?
then you've got and not to give it away for anybody who hasn't seen the show, but forgive me if. But then you got the pyro when her brother comes out with the guitar, and
the
then
lasers.
Now you're doing guests. The track with Charlie XCX. She's jumping around. It takes you through all these different emotions.
Yeah,
and
I've watched it like 10 times now, so I know
Still in
every
awe,
part
right?
of the show.
Still in awe.
I'm still in awe, and it makes me feel like every great concert. Like, I was on the plane over, and I listened to a bit of Male Fantasy. You know that song? She's got Male Fantasy. I was like, and you get that feeling of like nostalgia of like you want to be back at the concert, and I love her music so much.
When you think about implementing some of those things that you learn into your tour, your headlining shows, things like that, what are some of those little elements that you're picking up, that you're starting to adopt a little bit, that you're learning, that you guys are having conversations backstage, and you're asking that one question that maybe is going to be in a set list later on in the year?
I think she, I don't know what it would be. I think, what's amazing, I think, about her show that I'd say I've learned is that from her doing it in the round, I think is really interesting, but also the way she makes a considered effort to make every single corner of the arena feel like they're a part of the show.
Yeah.
Right from the get-go. And I think that is an amazing skill that it is not is not a given when you
For
go
sure.
and see artists.
Yeah.
It's like it when you're, we've all had the tickets of being on row 90.
Yeah, 9,000. You're
Yeah.
triple Z,
And you
know,
start getting the
whatever it is.
binoculars out, and it's like, we've all been sat up there, and it isn't as good
Yeah.
when the artist, you're sort of side on. It's not as good as being row one. But at the Billie Eilish show, I don't think there's a seat in that house that you don't feel like you're getting an equal experience. And I think that's what differentiates her to, it makes her one of the greats. It's what Bruce Springsteen does.
Yeah,
It's
but it's what you do through your music also.
Yeah.
It's that connectivity. It's that connection through the lyrics and the stories that you're telling. So I don't want you to disregard what it is that you do so brilliantly also in that space, is that you are connecting, so much that person is spending their $200 or their $50 or even their $15 to see you. That's really a special gift that you've been given. And the fact that you are willing to share that as an artist with us as a fan of music, I'd say this like wholeheartedly. Just thank you for being.
Well, you're very kind, but I remain a student, and
Yeah.
and that's the best place to be.
Yeah.
And that's what's so wonderful as to be on this tour, is I
Yeah.
get to learn, and that's the great gift of being the support act.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah,
is you get to learn.
You get to learn.
because as the headline act, you there's not so much learning that goes on.
And what's really cool, and I think as we, kind of talk and give, Billie her flowers, is she's also learning as well. It's, there's no complacency.
She's learning from the master.
She's learning from the master. There we go.
No.
There we go. Lastly, as we put a little bit of a crown on this convo, is there any creating that's happening for you while you're on the road? Are you journaling still? Are you, finding different ways to jot down and maybe think of new, stories to tell? And are you finding those moments?
I always find those moments, but none of it is merely. All of it is merely paddling to stay afloat, so I don't lose my mind. None of it is with any creative ambition. It's all done in order to not to go mad,
Not to go crazy,
and end up in the asylum. But no, all of that stuff I've done for years, and it's part of a kind of survival technique which I enjoy deeply. I do I'm very into meditation.
Yeah.
So I've done that for 9 years.
Wow.
I've done transcendental meditation, and I try every day, not every day, but almost every day, I write a kind of automatic thing. It's somewhere between poetry and automatic writing. If I didn't do that, I'm not sure I would be able to write songs, because I think it keeps a kind of channel open with words, which it can close up.
Mm-hmm. It's a muscle. If you don't exercise that muscle, it's definitely gonna.
And there's nothing worse than coming back off tour after promoting a record for a year or 9 months, and then you sit down at the piano and you go,
like, what the hell?
what
am I
am
gonna write
And I've
about?
had that, and we've
What
all
happened?
had that, and it's absolute. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
So you got to keep it open.
You have, because whatever it is that breeds that creativity. It could be anything from like just a paella that you ate while you're on the road to, but if you don't write it down, it was I don't know, maybe do you have pets?
I have a cat.
You have a cat. Okay, so you don't have a dog. So it could have been like I don't know, French kissed a dog one day.
Yeah.
Maybe that can be something that can turn into a song. Who knows?
Every
But,
day.
Anything and everything. You just got to write it out.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, just the creative and just I really love the theme of this conversation just being the idea and the opportunity to let people feel whatever it is.
Always.
That is so important. And that's what I love about your music. That's what helped me fall in love with your sounds. I felt something when I saw you upstairs in our building a couple years ago, and I'm just like, man, this is a dude who I want to. Oh, and one last. I wrote this down here with Black Friday, but the Pretty Like the Sun in lowercase letters with the Lost Frequencies version. Why is that only in lowercase letters? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I didn't even know it was.
Okay, yeah, that's what I felt. I was like, I feel curious about this. I need to ask my guy.
Is it? I tried to change it actually the other day, didn't I? But then did we backtrack on that?
Okay.
Well, because it's a remix, right?
Yeah, it's a remix. Yeah, it gives it a little bit of tempo. It gives
It's
a little bit
remix, but it's got a different name.
Yeah.
But it's great remix.
It's a beautiful remix.
It's a great remix, and I love Felix, who's Lost Frequencies, and actually, it really. I say this very authentically that when I heard it, that for the first time, that remix, it brought out a side of the song which the original master didn't, in a really lovely way.
Beautifully.
That I'm so happy that song, that remix connected, and maybe remix is the wrong word for it.
Yeah,
You know,
it's gosh, man. It's just like it's an interpolation. It's another feeling that particular artist, producer, whoever it is, felt that's the emotion that you connected to.
And the thing is, right, is having done this for a little while now, I've realized is that what's crazy about being a songwriter, and is that you see, like with my song Another Love or Heal, like the other day, this guy in America, did a cover of Heal on American Idol.
Nuts.
This guy, Jamal Edwards or something. It was not Jamal Edwards. Jamal something. Anyway, watch this thing. It made me cry. I watched this thing, and this is
Roberts. Yeah.
Jamal Roberts.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, man.
And he does
Trying
this.
to make me cry, dude.
He does this version of Heal, and this is a song I wrote when I was 20 years old, and I'm 34 now, and I watched this thing on YouTube, and it's and this guy even said he got interviewed. He said he'd only heard the song like the day before, and he does this version of it, and I'm just like, for me, that is like, that is why I do this. That's what music is so. Music is so about someone covering it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like someone singing it on American Idol. Like someone remixing it. Someone speeding it up.
Yeah.
Someone slowing it down. Like, to me, it's all communication, and it's like it's all about like that amazing thing of cultures coming together and learning something from one another.
That's what music, and that's why I'm going to see you in Barcelona. I'm manifesting it because I love to see how it connects. I love to see globally how music connects. You can step into a stadium in a part of the planet where English is maybe their second or third language.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And it moves. You know what I mean? And that's such a precious thing that I love to experience that, because I'm getting a bit jaded here in New York City. We get it all. We see it all. It's like it's easy peasy. But there's something about stepping on foreign soil and watching an artist who may not be from there connect through their just majestic storytelling. And you're just like, wow, I'm in Spain watching people sing this song. What are they going to do to this particular record that's going to make it special to them?
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing, dude.
I feel inspired.
Dude, so do I, man. I'm just saying, if you write a song or you journal something about this and it turns into something, 3%, that's all. That's all. No, oh my gosh, this conversation could go on for days, but man, we got to get you out of here and save some for when we're overseas. No, of course, man. Gosh, man, I'm feeling whole now after this chat, dude. And continue success. And whenever you're here in New York, and I'm hoping it'll be later on this summer again, another proper hug here in the studio.
Likewise, if you're in London.
We'll make it happen, dude. Yeah. One time, give it up for Tom Odell, please. Yes.